Let's try and lighten things up a little bit as we roll the opener now for this segment, which is always fraught with danger.
Got a gut, shake it off with the Man Shake.
Now, this isn't so much what caught my eye, it's almost a bit of a recap because if I've had one person, I've had 100 people this week ask me about you and cherry ripe. So this is what we exposed last week.
Sure they did, Tony.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny that we get that saying, cherry ripe? They could have used any other fruit, but they used cherry.
Yeah.
Peach ripe.
Chocolate bar, though. It's well known.
Did the saying come out before the chocolate bar, though? There you go.
It didn't, I don't reckon. It came out afterwards.
I'm going to look that up.
So it was certainly a meeting of the minds, Richo and Nathan Brown there, as they tried to drill down into the origins of cherry ripe.
Well, did you get it?
Did I get what?
Well, is it before the chocolate bar? Is it about the chocolate bar?
Well, I have been thinking about that this week, actually.
What have you come up with?
That I need to get a life if I'm thinking so hard about that. And clearly you do too, because you've got form in this area.
When I first went down to the Bulldogs, I love toast and Vegemite. Now, my name's Brown and Mum's maiden name was Smith, so Vegemite growing up was massive. We got told not to have Vegemite, not to have it on the butter. Take the butter out and just have it. Do you have Vegemite?
You don't want that, TJ. I don't think Aracho's played since then.
He has struggled since then.
But the other thing is, what is the relevance? Your mum's maiden name Smith and you're Brown. So what's that mean?
Very Australian background. And just Vegemite's Australian. I was just trying to make a point. And it wasn't a great point, TJ. It wasn't a great question. Wasn't my greatest.
You're just an awkward little man, aren't you, really?
Brownie, stay buckled up because this tour is about you. Now, one of the bonuses of working on this show, Brownie, I've become really close with you and you've become a friend, and I mean that, and I say that seriously, but I'm not so serious now. I do love what you've become. You've become a media juggernaut, and I've loved the phases to your particular surge in media. So we'll go back through the superstar phase. The double T-shirt, Kane, you can see the little T-shirt underneath the main T-shirt. We'll pan down and we'll have a look at the jean. Now, have a look at the jean. The flare and the thongs and the shades, and he's had it all happening. He's then, TJ, moved from the superstar to the rock star, where he felt that he was one of the Gallagher brothers banging out an Oasis tune. And we'll just sound up for a moment on this because this is disgraceful.
All right, that's enough.
As always, every story has a beginning, and yours in a footy sense, Nathan, began in 1996 on National Draft Day when you were, and probably still are, a bogan from Bendigo.
Quantum leap for you. Do you reckon that it's sort of a chance maybe to play senior footy next year? Or?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm looking to do. I don't want to spend too much time in the seconds or anything, so I'd like to play senior footy.
I'll jump in the gym.
Yeah, get in the gym.
Well done, Damo. Now, speaking of Damo, and you spoke about TJ being bought out earlier on in the show off the top, but I feel like we need an investigation here this morning. Brownie's been really slack with your investigations this year. And, Lordo, I just want to ask you a question. If a club rings you up and asks for a patch-up coffee just to smooth things over, you might have been critical of the club. What do you say usually?
No.
Yeah,
no.
Never do it. Well, there's an investigation into patch-up coffees here because Damien Barrett has been as critical as anyone over North Melbourne over the journey. Let's have a listen to some of his work earlier this year.
I mean, they've been there before in these types
Are you not happy that they were all caught up in a Damo? That's what that sounds like.
I don't have a major problem with it, Brownie.
The manner in which they won that game was worth those celebrations.
I
That was a really,
really
courageous effort, what they did.
But let's not get too caught up in a team.
Oh, let them
beating a team
go.
That was round 18. It has since been revealed, I think, on the Sounding Board podcast that there's been a patch-up coffee. Let's have a listen.
I don't think it's a disaster. I'm not defensive of that club, as you know. In fact, I'm aggressively against a lot of the stuff.
Softening.
No, it's not.
You've been caught in for the coffee, and all of a sudden it's
no,
the end of the world.
I don't think it is the end of the world.
Have a look at this,
North
Jane. 8 weeks ago.
Yeah.
How they missed this? I tell you what. Yeah, it's not the end of the world.
Actually, do not
this
put
is
words.
The coffee.
Do not put words.
No, this is the coffee.
Do not put words in my mouth.
Sorry, that wasn't Damo's voice. That
Did the
wasn't
chipmunks fill in for you this week or something, did
I'm
they?
sure. It didn't sound like that in the edit
What did I
suite.
say? I didn't hear it.
In the edit suite. Well, you denied having a patch-up coffee, but I think we can now reveal that Damo has had a patch-up coffee because this has been his coverage of North, the inside story of our North bought Clarko home, and this as well. New chair Sonia Hood has made the perfect pitch regardless of the outcome. Damo, on the record, Since those critical comments, has there been a patch-up coffee and has your tune changed?
Depends what you determine
Has
and want to
there
define
been-
by patch-up coffee,
Has there been
Kate.
a patch-up coffee?
So
I
you've been
speak-
bought. You've been bought.
I
Again,
speak to a lot of people in footy, Kane.
Has there been a patch-up
There's no
coffee?
patch-up coffee.
What coffee does Sonia have?
A type of coffee.
Yeah, you're onto something here, Kane, I think. Yeah.
How come you got a coffee and I just got a
been
bloody
bought.
scarf?
Hey,
I'm an paid-up member.
now, 1981, there was an audition tape by you to pitch for yourself next to Hitch for the news. And let's take a look. We've found it. Listen to the silver spoon in TJ's mouth back in the day.
After his second successive defeat at the hands of a Swedish player today, Pat Cash has no chance of making the finals of the Rich Nabisco Masters Tennis Championships in New York. 2 days ago it was Stefan Edberg, and today Mats Wilander defeated Cash in straight sets.
All right, so that is 1986. It's interesting that you were talking tennis after all these years, what went on. But it's amazing. You can crack the sads. We all know that, TJ.
And that was pre-Chompers Day.
And pre-Chompers, but amazing. In your audition tape, you've cracked the sads. Have a look at TJ's audition tape, and he still turns nasty.
Thanks, Tony. Coming up after the break, Ann Snell with the weather, and it looks as if we're in for a fine Sunday.
Oh, salty.
What happened? TJ, what happened on your audition tape and you still lost it? What happened?
I'm not. I was scared.
I was scared,
Yeah,
was it?
I wasn't grumpy as if
Okay.
I'd be grumpy, you know. No, I was just.
Good vision.
I was just a bit of. It was an audition, and I was like a bit nervous.
All right, okay.
and 26 years later, he didn't get the main gig anyway. Okay, we've all been part of doorstops, and there's been many doorstops this week. So let's look at some of us in our great doorstops. So the first one, here's Bill. Bill goes back. He was doorstopped as a politician. So didn't quite get that one. Here's Lordo. Butter wouldn't melt in his mouth. Have a look at Lordo.
It's just disbelief at the moment.
This is me, so we've all been there. This is me at the doorstop. This is Kane, the doorstop. We all have the doorstop. But, TJ, during the week, now the biggest news story I think this year, since the drug saga broke, I think this is the biggest. Now, I'd call this bruise-free journalism. This is bruise-free. You think of clubs who don't put their head over the football when they need to get the football. This
Tread
is called
carefully.
bruise-free. So obviously they walk through, and look at our man over here. He doesn't even have a microphone. So how's Xavier going to speak to you? You don't even have a microphone. And then he walks past you, and have a look at you. It's like the audacity of you to walk past me. Get in there, roll your sleeves up, do some hard work. You're not the number one. You're about number 5.
I tell you what, I'll come over. Oh, fair income. No, can I just explain again?
What were you wearing too?
Well, actually, for those of us that get the feet out from under the news desk and
You're wearing
actually
a
go
puffer.
out and
Was
sort
it a
of.
puffer jacket or what?
Well, it was cold, mate. It was cold.
Was
all
it
right?
actually green?
But, hang on, Ayrton Woolley was the reporter doing the story. I didn't need to stand on his toes, and what I was doing was the camera crews were coming backwards, and I actually saved the Channel 7 cameraman from going straight into a pole.
Didn't you trust
Well,
it?
you looked like you were trying to ask questions from a mile back.
Well, no, I did ask one
Bruce-free
because
journalism.
because Xavier, as opposed to Xavier, as you call him, Xavier Campbell did this tactic whereby he would just talk until he got to the door and he wouldn't allow questions. So I just threw one in for the sake of it.
I'd be disappointed.
Would you?
Yep. How did you, when you look back at that, how do you feel about it?
Well, I probably would have worn my black jacket, to be honest, as opposed to the green one. But anyway, thank you and thank you.